The NFL is a vortex. Athletes coming in and out, whether they're Pro Bowlers or trying to make themselves a name. Very few stand out at best. TPS has now updated Mount Rushmore athletes for all 32 NFL teams, with the chosen 4 worthy of the carved facade. So, behold, Mount Rushmore for all 32 NFL teams. Arizona Cardinals, Larry Fitzgerald, Dan Dierdorf, Jackie Smith, and Aeneas Williams. Fitzgerald, an 11-time Pro Bowler, managed to put up incredible numbers with multiple quarterbacks throughout his career. Plus, Fitzgerald led the Cardinals to their first and only Super Bowl. Dierdorf made 6 Pro Bowls as a Redbird, playing 160 games. His Cardinals didn't win much, but still, he is enshrined in Canton and deserves a spot here. Unfortunately remembered for his Dallas Cowboys' infamous drop in Super Bowl 13 was the league's greatest tight end, Jackie Smith. Smith made 5 Pro Bowls and is enshrined in Canton. Meanwhile, Aeneas Williams, an 8-time Pro Bowler, earned 3 first-team All-Pros, helped the Cardinals win their first playoff game since 1947 against the Dallas Cowboys, and is enshrined in the Hall for his Cardinals and St. Louis Rams tenure. Atlanta Falcons, Matt Ryan, Michael Vick, Julio Jones, and Deion Sanders. 1989 began Sanders' NFL career with the Falcons, followed by 8 Pro Bowls. However, Sanders became public enemy number 1 when he bailed for the San Francisco 49ers and Dallas Cowboys, helping each of them win Super Bowl championships. But regardless, his contributions to the team and franchise definitely earn him a spot here. Vick brought exciting quarterback play with his dual threat talents, leading the Falcons to the 2004-2005 NFC Championship game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Vick's time ended due to involvement in illegal dogfights, but before that, the man was absolutely electric. Ryan and Jones helped the Falcons reach the 2012-2013 NFC Championship game against the San Francisco 49ers and Super Bowl 51 against the New England Patriots, which was unfortunately a painful loss in overtime. Baltimore Ravens, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs, and Lamar Jackson. Lewis, Reed, and Suggs were the Ravens' Big 3 defense, dominating opposing offenses throughout the 2000s, helping them to win Super Bowl 47. Oh, and of course, each earned NFL Defensive Player of the Year honors. Jackson is making a name as a dual-threat quarterback, capturing 2 AP NFL MVPs. But at this point, Jackson's sights are firmly set on a Lombardi trophy. Buffalo Bills, Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, Thurman Thomas, and Josh Allen. Kelly, Reed, and Thomas were part of the Bills' dynasty, advancing to 4 straight Super Bowls and, unfortunately, losing. Kelly, Reed, and Thomas were an absolute force with that no-huddle offense. Allen, meanwhile, has resurrected the Bills with elusive talent as a passer and rusher, helping them twice reach the AFC Championship, but, of course, losing to Kansas City. But hey, hopefully Allen gets the Bills to the Super Bowl one day. Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton, Steve Smith, Julius Peppers, and Luke Kuechly. Smith and Peppers were the Panthers' force throughout the 2000s. Smith's offense dominated opposing secondaries. Peppers was electric on defense, helping the team reach Super Bowl 38. Meanwhile, Newton and Kuechly made the Panthers exciting in the 2010s, helping the Panthers win 3 straight NFC South championships. Kuechly earned 2013 NFL Defensive Player of the Year, while Newton earned 2015 AP NFL MVP, leading the Panthers to a 15-1 record, as well as a Super Bowl 50 appearance. Chicago Bears, George Halas, Walter Payton, Dick Butkus, and Mike Ditka. Fans admire Halas, founder, owner, head coach, and end for the Bears. Halas coached the Bears for 40 seasons, helping them win 8 NFL championships, as well as earning 2 NFL Coach of the Year honors. Butkus was a feared linebacker with relentless play and intensity. Butkus earned 2 NFL Defensive Player of the Years, made 8 Pro Bowls, and was enshrined in Canton in 1979. Ditka started his Hall of Fame career with the Bears as a tight end, earned an NFL championship in 1963, and ultimately led the Dallas Cowboys to the Super Bowl. Ditka is probably better known as the Bears coach, though, helping them win Super Bowl 20. Payton, a dominant running back, giving opposing defenders nightmares, is arguably the best running back of all time. He helped the Bears win Super Bowl 20, was a 9-time Pro Bowler, and was second in all-time rushing with 16,726 yards. Cincinnati Bengals, Anthony Munoz, AJ Green, Joe Burrow, and Trey Hendrickson. Munoz was the Bengals' dominant offensive lineman, helping them reach 2 Super Bowls. An 11-time Pro Bowler, he he played in 185 games, started in 182, and had a spot on the 1980s All-Decade team. Green, meanwhile, helped change the 2010s passing attack game, all thanks to his dominating performances with Andy Dalton. Green made 7 Pro Bowls, 6 seasons with over 1,000 receiving yards. Though Green's Bengals never made it past wildcard weekend, he still deserves a spot here. Burrow and Hendrickson helped bring Bengals relevancy in the 2020s. Burrow earned 2 NFL Comeback Player of the Year awards, led the Bengals to a Super Bowl 56 appearance, and of course, led in passing yards and touchdowns in 2024. Hendrickson made 4 straight Pro Bowls and received a first-team All-Pro nod in 2024. Cleveland Browns, Paul Brown, Jim Brown, Joe Thomas, and Myles Garrett. Paul Brown was the namesake and first coach of the Browns, helping them earn 4 straight double AFC championships, and helping them to win 4 NFL championships. Jim Brown is arguably one of the greatest football players of all time, having 8 Pro Bowls, 3 NFL MVPs, and helping the Browns earn the 1964 NFL championship, all due to his dominance as a running back. Thomas is one of the best offensive tackles, known for his durability, consistency, and elite technique. Thomas made 10 Pro Bowls and played in 10,363 snaps over his Hall of Fame career. Garrett, meanwhile, rejuvenated the Browns with 2 playoff appearances in 2020 and 2023, earned 6 Pro Bowl nods, and was NFL Defensive Player of the Year thanks to his aggressive style as a defensive end. Oh boy. Dallas Cowboys, Tom Landry, Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman, and Emmitt Smith. Coach Landry and Staubach made the Cowboys America's team with 2 Super Bowl wins. As well, Landry coached the team from its inception from 1960 to 1988. The offensive duo, Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith, secured the Cowboys dynasty in the 1990s, winning 3 Super Bowls over that span. Smith holds the record of most rushing yards of all time with 18,355 yards. Denver Broncos, Pat Bowlen, John Elway, Terrell Davis, and Von Miller. Bowlen was the Broncos owner from 1984 until his death in 2019. Though he relinquished control due to battling Alzheimer's, Bowlen oversaw the Broncos, helping them to reach 7 Super Bowls and winning 3 of them. Elway, considered the greatest of Broncos, helped the team earn 2 Super Bowl championships, playing alongside with Terrell Davis, who currently holds the Broncos' all-time rushing record with 7,607 rushing yards. Miller, meanwhile, helped anchor the Broncos' defense in order to win Super Bowl 50. He was named Super Bowl MVP for his efforts. Miller also earned 8 Pro Bowl nods along the way. Detroit Lions, Bobby Lane, Joe Schmidt, Barry Sanders, and Calvin Johnson. Lane was absolutely on fire with the Lions, helping them earn 3 NFL championships, made 4 Pro Bowls, and was named to the 1950s All-Decade team. Teammate Joe Schmidt was a part of those 2 championships, made 10 Pro Bowls, and was on the 1950s All-Decade team. Sanders was one of the flashiest offensive players, period. He always made a Pro Bowl, was a 4-time NFL rushing leader, and earned 2 Offensive Player of the Year honors, and was the co-winner of the 1997 NFL MVP along with Brett Favre. Johnson, meanwhile, was a game-changing wide receiver for the Lions, with catching ability, exceptional speed, and size. Johnson made 6 Pro Bowls and led the NFL in receptions in 2012. Green Bay Packers, Don Hutson, Vince Lombardi, Bart Starr, and Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers, of course, helped the Packers win Super Bowl 45 and was a 4-time league MVP, making 10 Pro Bowls along the way. And at this point in his career is just a lock for Canton. Hutson's dominance pioneered the role of modern wide receivers in a pre-pass-heavy NFL. His ability to create and execute routes left defenders just eating dust. Hutson helped the Packers earn 3 NFL championships during his tenure. Lombardi became the 1960s Packers head coach legend, transforming the team into a dynasty. And of course, the Lombardi Trophy is named after him, so he's gotta be here. Starr helped his team earn 5 NFL championships, 2 Super Bowl wins, and was a true winner, securing the Packers' 1960s dynasty. The Houston Texans, J.J. Watt, Andre Johnson, Dwayne Brown, and D'Amico Ryans. Hall of Famer Andre Johnson holds the Texans' most receiving yards record, sitting at 13,597, along with 7 Pro Bowls. J.J. Watt single-handedly helped the Texans become a playoff contender in the 2010s, with 5 Pro Bowls and 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards. Brown earned a plethora of Pro Bowls as an offensive tackle, helping both Arian Foster and Lamar Miller absolutely dominate on the ground. Ryans made 2 Pro Bowls playing for the Texans. He was also the Texans head coach, helping them earn back-to-back AFC South championships with quarterback C.J. Stroud. Indianapolis Colts, Johnny Unitas, Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison Sr., and Dwight Freeney. Unitas was one of the best quarterbacks of his era, helping the Colts win 3 NFL championships and Super Bowl V over the Dallas Cowboys. Manning was the face of the Colts, helping them win Super Bowl 41, earning 4 MVPs during his time in the white and royal blue, and is enshrined in Canton. Manning's Colts also had help from Harrison Sr. and Freeney. Harrison Sr. holds the receiving yard record with the Colts at 14,580 yards. Freeney, meanwhile, earned 7 Pro Bowls and was the NFL sacks leader in 2004. Jacksonville Jaguars, Fred Taylor, Maurice Jones-Drew, Tony Baselli, and Mark Brunell. Brunell led the Jaguars in the 1990s. He made 3 Pro Bowls and was the NFL 1996 passing yards leader. Plus, he led the team to 2 AFC Championship games. Taylor made the Pro Bowl in 2007 and currently holds the Jaguars' rushing record with 11,271 yards on the ground. Jones-Drew succeeded Taylor as the main running back in the latter part of the 2008 season and made 3 Pro Bowls. Baselli earned Pro Bowl honors with the Jaguars, started 90 games, and was on the same Jaguars team as Brunell, reaching 2 AFC Championship games. As well, he was the first Jacksonville Jaguar that was enshrined in Canton. Kansas City Chiefs, Tony Gonzalez, Len Dawson, Derek Thomas, and Patrick Mahomes. Sorry, Travis Kelce, Gonzalez is considered one of the best tight ends ever. 14 Pro Bowls, most career receiving yards by a tight end at 15,127 yards. And he's currently in the Hall of Fame. Dawson, the man, the myth, the legend, led the Chiefs to their first Super Bowl win against the Minnesota Vikings, was a 6-time AFL All-Star and a Pro Bowler. Thomas was one of the league's best linebackers, with 9 Pro Bowls, 126.5 sacks, and 7 sacks in a game in 1990. Tragically, however, Thomas's life was cut short in 2000. And Patrick Mahomes, who I don't think we really need to say that much on. He's earned 2 NFL MVPs, helped the Chiefs become a dynasty with 3 Super Bowls, and has earned 6 Pro Bowl nods. Las Vegas Raiders, John Madden, Ken Stabler, Tim Brown, and Marcus Allen. Coach Madden made the Raiders legendary during his tenure, leading the team, along with Stabler, to a Super Bowl championship. Allen dominated the Raiders' ground game in the 1980s, helping the team win Super Bowl 18 and earning Super Bowl MVP. Allen made 6 Pro Bowls and League MVP in 1985. Brown, meanwhile, made 9 Pro Bowls, currently holds the Raiders' receiving yards record with 14,734 yards, and helped the Raiders reach Super Bowl 37. Los Angeles Chargers, LaDainian Tomlinson, Phillip Rivers, Junior Seau, and Dan Fouts. Fouts' entire career was with the Bolts. He made 6 Pro Bowls, was the NFL Offensive Player of the Year in 1982, and was a 4-time passing yards leader. The late Junior Seau was a defensive force with 12 Pro Bowls, 6 first-team All-Pros, and helped the Chargers reach Super Bowl 29. Tomlinson was named NFL MVP in 2006, helped the Bolts reach the AFC Championship game in 2007, made 5 Pro Bowls, and led the NFL in rushing yards in 2006 and 2007. Phillip Rivers, meanwhile, spent most of his career with the Chargers. He made 8 Pro Bowls, won 2013 NFL Comeback Player of the Year, and led the league in passing yards in 2008. I think it's safe to say that Rivers is a lock for Canton. Los Angeles Rams, Merlin Olsen, Deacon Jones, Kurt Warner, and Marshall Faulk. Olsen and Jones were part of the league's fiercest defenses. Both men made lots of Pro Bowls, were named to the 1960s All-Decade Team, terrorized opposing offenses, and Jones also won back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year honors. Warner and Faulk were instrumental in the Greatest Show on Turf Rams team's victory in Super Bowl 34, and both are enshrined in Canton. Miami Dolphins, Don Shula, Bob Greasy, Dan Marino, and Jason Taylor. Shula coached the Dolphins from 1970 until 1995. He led the team to back-to-back Super Bowls, won the famous undefeated season in 1972, and was named Coach of the Year in 1972 as well. Greasy was Shula's main quarterback throughout the 1970s. He helped the team win 2 Super Bowls, made 6 Pro Bowls, and was the passing touchdown leader in 1977. Marino is arguably the greatest quarterback who never won a Super Bowl. Marino was a pocket passer, made 9 Pro Bowls, won NFL MVP in 1984, and won Comeback Player of the Year in 1994. Taylor, an incredible pass rusher for the Dolphins, earned 2006 Defensive Player of the Year honors. He had 139.5 sacks and led the league in sacks in 2002 and is enshrined in Canton. Minnesota Vikings, Fran Tarkenton, Alan Page, Randy Moss, and Adrian Peterson. Tarkenton may not have won a Super Bowl, but he commanded a dominant Vikings team throughout the 1970s. The Scrambler earned 1975 NFL MVP, made 9 Pro Bowls, and led in passing yards in 1978. Plus, the man's enshrined enshrined in Canton. Page anchored the Vikings' Purple People Eaters defense, had 148.5 sacks, made 9 Pro Bowls, and was NFL MVP in 1971, as well as a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, and also was enshrined in Canton. Moss, considered the greatest wide receiver of all time after Jerry Rice, dominated opposing secondaries throughout his Hall of Fame career. Peterson was one of the most talented running backs the NFL has ever seen. He won NFL MVP in 2012, made 7 Pro Bowls, had 296 rushing yards in a game in 2007, and is a lock for Canton. New England Patriots, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, Robert Kraft, and Rob Gronkowski. When Kraft purchased the Patriots in 1994, everything changed. He hired Belichick in 2000, Tom Brady then emerged in 2001, and Gronkowski is arguably one of the league's best tight ends. Kraft, Brady, and Belichick made the Patriots super dynasty in the 2000s and 2010s with 6 Super Bowls. Nuff said. New Orleans Saints, Sean Payton, Drew Brees, Ricky Jackson, and Archie Manning. The Saints weren't the best in the 1970s and 1980s, but they had Ricky Jackson and Archie Manning. Jackson made 7 Pro Bowls, was the forced fumble leader 4 times, and is enshrined in the Hall of Fame. Manning is the father of both Eli and Peyton, but aside from that, the man also made 2 Pro Bowls. Brees and Coach Peyton arrived in 2006. Both men changed the Saints with 3 NFC Championship games and a win in Super Bowl 44. New York Giants, Eli Manning, Lawrence Taylor, Michael Strahan, and Rosie Brown. Brown, a Giant his entire career, was a 1956 NFL champion. He made 9 Pro Bowls and was named to the 1950s All-Decade Team. As well, he played in 162 games. Taylor is regarded as one of the best defensive players ever to play, and was the last defensive player to win the NFL MVP. Strahan wasn't as dominant as LT, but he was an elite defensive end. Strahan helped the Giants win Super Bowl 42, made 7 Pro Bowls, and won the 2011 Defensive Player of the Year. Manning may live in his brother's shadow, but still, he led the Giants to 2 Super Bowl victories over the New England Patriots, and absolutely deserves a spot on this list. New York Jets, Joe Namath, Joe Klecko, Curtis Martin, and Darrell Revis. Broadway Joe guaranteed a Super Bowl win against the Baltimore Colts, and he kept his promise with a 16-7 victory. Klecko, a fierce defensive tackle and was part of the New York Sack Exchange, terrorized opposing offenses in the 1980s. Klecko made 4 Pro Bowls and led the league in sacks in 1981. Martin was one of the most consistent running backs. He rushed for 14,101 yards in his career, made 5 Pro Bowls, and led the league with 1,697 rushing yards in 2004. Revis wasn't named Revis Island for nothing when he joined the Jets. No opposing wide receiver could escape. He won a Super Bowl with the New England Patriots and returned to the Jets in 2015. Plus, the man is enshrined in Canton. Philadelphia Eagles, Chuck Bednarik, Reggie White, Brian Dawkins, and Jason Peters. Bednarik was a force at center and linebacker. He helped the Eagles win 2 NFL championships, made 8 Pro Bowls, and was a 10-time first-team All-Pro. White became a household name thanks to his size, speed, power, and playmaking ability. He made 13 Pro Bowls, was a Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers, and won Defensive Player of the Year twice. Dawkins was a hard-hitting safety who helped guide the Eagles to a Super Bowl 39 appearance and made 9 Pro Bowls and had 37 interceptions. Meanwhile, Peters made 9 Pro Bowls, was named to the 2010 NFL All-Decade Team, and helped the Eagles win Super Bowl 52. Pittsburgh Steelers, Terry Bradshaw, Joe Green, Jerome Bettis, and Troy Polamalu. The Steelers have had many Hall of Fame talents come through their team. Bradshaw and Green helped the Steelers become a dynasty in the 1970s with 4 Super Bowls. Jerome "the Boss" Bettis dominated on the ground for the Steelers, helping the team earn their 5th Super Bowl in 2005 and retiring in style. Polamalu is built like a linebacker who played safety. He made 8 Pro Bowls, earned the 2010 NFL Defensive Player of the Year, and helped the Steelers win 2 Super Bowls. San Francisco 49ers, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Steve Young, and Ronnie Lott. Joe Cool Montana was that dude who kept his composure and led the 49ers to 4 Super Bowl championships in the 1980s. Rice is the NFL's best wide receiver, no questions asked. He led the league in every receiving category and helped the 49ers win 3 Super Bowls during his career. Lott was part of the 49ers dynasty with 4 Super Bowls. He made 10 Pro Bowls and was on the NFL 1980s and 1990s All-Decade teams. Young became an efficient passer throughout the 1990s. He helped the 49ers win Super Bowl 29 and earned 2 NFL MVPs. Plus, he led the league in passing touchdowns from 1992 to 1994 and earned it again in 1998. Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson, Richard Sherman, Steve Largent, and Walter Joe. Jones. Wilson's dual threat as a quarterback helped the Seahawks earn their first Super Bowl win. The Seahawks won that Super Bowl with Sherman leading the Legion of Boom defense. Largent, one of the most dominating wide receivers to step onto a football field, led the league in receiving yards twice, helped the Seahawks reach the AFC Championship in 1983, and made 7 Pro Bowls. Plus, he's enshrined in Canton. Jones started in 180 games for the Seahawks throughout his 12-year NFL career. Jones made 9 Pro Bowls, was on the 2000s NFL All-Decade team, and was enshrined in Canton. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, Rondé Barber, and Mike Evans. The Buccaneers defense was formidable, with Brooks, Sapp, and Barber taking charge in the 90s and 2000s. All 3 of these men helped the team win Super Bowl 37. Evans, meanwhile, always had a season with over 1,000 receiving yards, helping the Bucs capture Super Bowl 55. Evans will undoubtedly be a first-ballot Hall of Famer. Tennessee Titans, Bruce Matthews, Earl Campbell, Elvin Bethea, and Eddie George. Matthews spent his career with the Houston Oilers/Tennessee Titans. He helped the team reach their first Super Bowl, made 14 Pro Bowls, and played in 296 games. Campbell, known for his aggressiveness, unique power, and speed, was the NFL MVP in 1979 and led the league in rushing yards 3 times. Bethea did not make things easy for his opponents. He earned 8 Pro Bowl nods, had 105 sacks, and 16 fumble recoveries. George, a standout running back, helped the Titans reach their first Super Bowl. He made 4 Pro Bowls and is the Titans' leading rusher with 10,009 yards. Washington Commanders, Darrell Green, Sammy Baugh, Russ Grimm, and Art Monk. Baugh helped Washington win 2 NFL championships, made 6 Pro Bowls, and was the NFL passing yards leader 4 times. He played safety, punted for Washington, and was on the 1940s NFL All-Decade team. Monk, a dominant wide receiver for Washington throughout the 1980s and early 90s, helped Washington win 3 Super Bowls. As well, made 3 Pro Bowls, was NFL receptions leader in 1984, and has 12,721 receiving yards all time. Grimm, a part of the Hogs offensive line, helped Washington win 3 Super Bowls. Grimm also made 4 Pro Bowls, was named to the NFL 1980s All-Decade team, and played 140 games. Green helped Washington win 2 Super Bowls, he made 7 Pro Bowls, and had 54 interceptions, 6 defensive touchdowns, and is on the 1990s NFL All-Decade team. But who do you think is on your favorite team's Mount Rushmore? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.